Hello everyone. Welcome to what is actually episode 4 of this Gothic Paradox mega campaign. We're still in Imperator Rome, and I've learned a few things about recording these videos. One is that I'm really bad at talking and playing at the same time. I've posted the videos and I've realized that's probably not working for anybody. So, I'll work on that as a skill set. And in the meantime, I will not subject you to it. I will just talk while I'm not playing. Give you guys an update on what's happened so far in this campaign, and then I will go ahead and play a bit and then update you guys again. Just wanted to show you guys where we're at now. So in the last video, I showed that we were trying to change our kind of government to tribal monarchy, and we are now actually a stratocratic monarchy. I just thought that was kind of suitable for the Gothic culture, a kind of military heavy monarchy type that is kind of rewards or at least in the terms of the role play element of this, says advised by generals and warriors. It seemed like the actual perks were fine. I didn't do too much research into what would be better or worse anyway, but you get 2 military ideas with this and 1 oratory idea, so that seemed pretty good. And we are now quite a bit later. So I played quite a bit since I last recorded an episode. Episode 3 ended in 168 BC, so it's been a little over 100 years of game time since I finished recording that. And yeah, I was just wanted, so as you've probably already noticed, I'm at war with Rome, and I'm kind of panned down here to the corner because I didn't want to give you guys too much of an idea before I started talking about it, of how badly things are going for our poor little Gothic nation. But so I said one thing I realized was that I'm really bad at playing and talking at the same time. I mumble too much. But the other thing that I realized is that I'm really bad at Imperator. I really don't know what I'm doing, and I have more hours in CK3 and EU4. So I thought, you know what, I'll be fine. I do fine in those games. But I know CK3 is essentially easy mode all the time, and apparently this game is a little bit different, I've realized. So I just don't know some of the things I should be doing, especially militarily, tactically and strategically, my armies. And now you can see, so here's our nation of Guthonia. It hasn't expanded that much since the last episode. I've kind of expanded into these areas a little bit in here in the more kind of central and western Alps, and then I just started consolidating. So I started building cities. I threatened to make Parmacampia the capital, and I did. So I've got that as a city. There's a few more cities around. I believe this is one of them, yeah, and this is another one of them. Oh, is it? No, it's not. I don't know why I said it was. One there. I think we have 3. So there's one in Parmacampia, there's one here in Fergasatis, and there should be one more hanging out in here somewhere. Let me see. I was going to show you all the cities. Oh, I believe this is a city. Yeah, right. It's now occupied by Rome. Great. This was the prior capital, I believe. And yeah, so just wanted to, before I go on, so just comparing it to where the Goths would have been in this time, in historically, as far as I can tell. I didn't do that much research on it, but Wikipedia mentions Roman authors who mentioned that there were Guthones that had already moved to Pomerania, this kind of coastal region of the South Baltic, on the south of the Baltic, and that they were there, and probably at this time either still answering to some other Germanic tribe that was their overlords, either the Marcomanni or the Rugi, who are potentially related to the Vandals. But anyway, it wouldn't be until the 1st century AD that they started a lot of the, well, and it wasn't just them, there were a lot of Germanic migrations towards the Black Sea in the 1st century AD. They started moving around to this area, but that has not started yet. Anyway, so I jumped the gun by moving the Goths away from the Baltic and into an area close to the border of Rome early, and I'm kind of regretting that I did, because you can see that so for the longest time Rome was leaving me alone. I had read a blog where somebody had decided to go down the where's my text? Military, trade, overview, culture, religion, economy, government, technology. There. So they had gone down the oratory advanced chain, and they had gone for a lot of perks to managing relationships, and they were playing as a Celtiberian minor, had turned it into quite a large Iberian nation, and were managing to avoid war with Rome simply through diplomacy, and it was all working very well for them. Well, I thought, okay, I'll do that. But no, they declared war on me, and I was sitting on a lot of cash. I mean, I am sitting on a lot of cash again. My economy was pretty healthy, but and I could probably do some new recruiting of new mercenary units to replace these ones that have been totally trashed. But basically, I tried to throw large numbers of mercenaries at the Romans. I have one small legion. I mean, it was bigger than this before they decimated it, but still wasn't large. And the how many cohorts was it? I forget a lot of this now, because I haven't logged in for a while, actually, since this whole this war started. And anyway, I threw my legion and a lot of mercenaries at similarly sized or smaller Roman armies, and just watched them get decimated, because there's a lot of things I apparently didn't know about how combat works in this game. And so now Rome is destroying me and all of my allies, and I mean, it's not like I haven't won a few battles, but yeah, it hasn't generally been very pretty. I mean, or sorry, this is my loss, I guess. These would be my losses. So I did win a few, but yeah, I've only won battles where I really, really outnumbered them. 51,027 was a good one. 17-10. I'm surprised I won that one. They were probably retreating or something. I don't know. Maybe just mercenaries. But anyway, they've got a lot of war score. I don't really know what's going to happen next. There were a few more things I wanted to talk about. I actually took notes so I could keep my thoughts organized for once. And I don't know, so I didn't log in for a while, and then I resumed the game. I don't know why, but all of a sudden a bunch of these nations, it's just a bug of some sort, but a lot of the kind of, these were newly formed nations that were, when something fractured into pieces and created new nations. They had, I don't know, the names of, they should have been the names of nations that existed in their original start, but for some reason they've been replaced with these odd codes starting with X. I don't know what's going on. Some kind of bug. Maybe it's not Imperator. Maybe it's an Invictus bug. Anyway. So yeah. One of the things I tried to do for development was I started building. I think I ended up building mines in all of the mineral and metal producing provinces, and then I built farms in all of the food producing provinces. So I'm making like really decent trade and money now from all of the extra production. But we'll see how much of that Rome takes in this settlement. Yeah, I just wanted to look at the tech tree again. So if you guys have any suggestions, I know that I need to. I'm going to lose this war with Rome. Then I need to think about how I'm going to Rome-proof myself in the future. So I'm open to suggestions for how to not be sucker punched by Rome again, including what kind of military tech I should research. I haven't really invested much in military tech because, as I said, I was going down the oratory line to try to keep them appeased and happy and away from me. But that's not working. So any suggestions on martial advances would be appreciated. Also, any suggestions on legion composition. I have one legion. What kind of legion composition I should use against Rome? Appreciate suggestions on that. I just kind of went with this kind of assortment of things that wasn't too expensive and felt kind of gothy. And one of the reasons that I went with, you see I have a lot of archers and spearmen, is because when we go to military traditions, I have been going down the Germanic military tradition tree and just finishing it off, and then I was going to go to Baltic next, and one of the things that a lot of the Germanic tree is archer bonuses, and there's some light infantry bonuses, but it's a lot of archer bonuses. So I thought, okay, well, I'll use a lot of archers, but using a lot of archers, maybe I should be using more archers, I don't know, but it doesn't seem to be doing the Roman heavy infantry a lot of damage. If I look at Rome's troops, I'm assuming there's a lot of heavy infantry. I did read it after I started losing this war. I did go on to Reddit forums and start looking a little bit at, why can't I find that, at what that's not that. Can I even select an enemy army? What I've been getting wrong in terms of military strategy and tactics, but would really appreciate any suggestions and help with strengthening my performance against Rome. And because I really do see them, they're the only big threat in my region. I think people who play this game a lot would take that for granted and could have told me that was how it's going to go from the beginning. But they're my only really big threat in the region. And I think that my strategy now is going to be to just try to expand rapidly in all directions away from Rome, so that if they do war deck me again, they can't end game me in one peace settlement. I think that's going to be the goal. So I think the goal is going to be just to go big and hope to survive on the fringes of the Roman Empire. One thing I don't know, I googled it but didn't spend enough time looking to find a real answer, is if you lose a war with Rome, so let's say if I go to sue for peace, offer peace, and then I say become subject, if I become tributary to Rome, release nation, cancel subject, release relay, anyway. If I become tributary to Rome, is that game over for me or not? That is another thing I would like to know. Because that could be fine. It might be preferable to losing provinces in some way, and then I can keep expanding and pay them whatever I need to pay them, but keep expanding and then try to fight them back later. So if anybody knows if it's game over if I become tributary, that would be much appreciated information. And that's all I had written down in notes. Let me see if there's anything else I want to share with you guys. Map wise, Britannia is doing their Gutonian thing. You got a Celtic Britain going, a couple of Gallic powers in France, but nothing too crazy. If I look at population sizes, it's like 2,100, 1,400. I had a lot more before this really destructive war. Alania, Scythian cultures are doing well over here. Scythian in a broad sense, they're calling them Sakan, whatever. They're doing well. There's migrating tribes of Germans that have settled all over the Germanic populations. I think these were originally on the Scandinavian peninsula and then it migrated kind of all over the place. There's a remnant Balto-Slavic culture here, but a lot of the Balto-Slavic places have been overrun by Scythians, the Ptolemaic and post, whatever they call them, the post-Alexander kingdoms are all still doing strong. Not all of them, but there's a lot. There's a lot of Hellenic power left in the Middle East. Carthage is doing pretty well. But anyway, that's all I really have to say. I'm gonna play this war out with Rome on high speed, and then I'll talk to you guys at the end of it after once we've got an outcome, and hopefully I'm already too big for Rome to end game me in one war. So hopefully I'll survive this, and the Gothic nation will not be doomed, and then we can move on and hopefully do better in the future. All right, thanks for listening, and hope you continue to enjoy this campaign. Hi everyone. Okay, so I'm back already. I, played for another 16 minutes and continued to be utterly and absolutely destroyed by Rome. And it's time for me to make a decision. So I'm going to stop it here before I negotiate this peace, because I've got not that much time before peace is going to be forced on me anyway. This would be fine if they, if I could manage somehow to survive without them forcing a peace on me for another 1,200 days, and I could just take the one province. That would be amazing. But that's not how it's going to play out at this rate. So they already sued for peace a few times, but those peace deals basically had them taking everything that they've occupied and leaving me with these weird, awkward strips of the corners of my current kingdom. And so that doesn't sound very good. And then I was looking at peace deals, and when I look at the peace deals, if I offer to become tributary to them, that, that's a whole big chunk of war score. And then I could do that and maybe give them like 2 other provinces and mostly remain intact. So I need to know, and I'll go try to look this up again too, but I'm going to stop here and I'm going to go and I'm going to try to figure out if I become tributary to Rome, is that game over for me or not? Because if it's not, I might just do that and bide my time and keep expanding away from them. Anyway, so if you do know the answer to that question, please post in in the comments. And otherwise, I'm going to take a break here and restart at a future date. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you at the next episode.